Todd Latourette is not a household name, but he's recently been all over the news after revealing the incredible true story about his past. For those of you who are not familiar with Latourette, he was born at Albuquerque, New Mexico in 1970. For years, he struggled with serious mental illness, including bipolar disorder and depression. Because he refused to take his medication, Latourette suffered many manic episodes that ultimately left him hopeless and destitute. But that didn't hold Latourette back from a successful career as both an actor and a singer. His first major film role was in the highly acclaimed 2009 movie Men Who Stare at Goats. He then went on to find minor roles in films like The Messengers and a major recurring role in Breaking Bad spin-off Better Call Saul. On top of a career as an opera singer, Latourette has a classic rags to riches story, but that all came crumbling down when he revealed that he had lied about his service in the US military. Those familiar with Latourette know that he is missing most of his left arm. Describing his prosthetic, he says, "I have a 6-inch pirate hook which attaches into my black carbon fiber prosthetic arm. Other attachments include a stainless steel claw, wooden hand, and what I like to refer to as my Terminator hand. The fingers do open and close voluntarily." For his entire career, he claimed that he had lost it in battle during his service with the Army. This in turn helped Latourette land more acting roles. Latourette told casting agents that he was a war veteran and had injured himself while serving overseas, and they responded to his harrowing tale. In fact, he wrote an entire memoir that recounts in detail his time in the Army. In a statement about the 2016 book, Latourette recounts, "My successes as a film and television actor have been clouded by my experience in the United States Army. A complete mental upheaval occurred during the insanity of basic training, from which there seemed to be no return. September 11, 2001 caused my unstable mind to collapse, very similar to the fractured Twin Towers as they splintered and fell. This all came to a head earlier this week when Latourette admitted on a Santa Fe radio program that he had cut his own arm off during a psychotic episode during Christmas 2001. And of course, he falsified all his information about his military service. At the time, it seemed like a more palatable answer to studio execs than the fact that he had severe mental illness. "I severed my hand with a skill saw," he told the radio station. "The film industry obviously took a different angle, that I was different, and so they liked that." He added, "I was dishonorable. I'm killing my career by doing this. If anyone thinks this was for personal edification, that's not the case." Since coming forward, Todd says he's been dropped by his agent, but adds that he's now more interested in helping other people living with mental illness. "I simply want to help one person that's struggling with mental illness to say I can do things differently, and to take that cup of water and to take those pills if they need, and to be strong. They're my heroes. People that care for themselves that are mentally ill are my heroes, as well as the military men and women. All of them are my heroes." The producers of Better Call Saul have not made a statement regarding Latourette's status with the show. AMC has already renewed the show for a 5th season, and fans expect the program to go on much longer if it retains its current caliber. Latourette's admission of guilt seems to be entirely of his own volition. Clearly, it cast a huge shadow on his conscience. He told Insider magazine that it's been haunting him because it helped his career. There was plenty of fanfare surrounding his military tenure, and yet no one called him out over the years. He described how his prosthesis is treated differently in the worlds of theater and film. "I did make another effort in Manhattan recently in order to pursue my stage career once more. Of the 15 auditions I attended, I received not one callback. I performed well, but concluded that my prosthetic kept producers and directors from witnessing my true abilities. I left Manhattan and returned to screen acting, which embraces my individual look and effective performances in front of the camera." After writing his own memoir, Latourette wrote a biography of his mother. He's beginning research of a third book, about which he stated, "Thus my third book is my father's memoir, in support of his dedicated and honorable service as a jet airplane fighter pilot for the United States Air Force during the Vietnam conflict." Clearly, Latourette is inspired by military service and eventually chose to co-opt military glory for himself. This all ties in with a larger trend of stolen valor or military impostery. A cursory search of YouTube will result in thousands of videos of real veterans confronting imposter veterans to reap the societal benefits. In a general sense, a military imposter is a person who makes false claims about his or her military service in civilian life. This includes claims by people that have never been in the military, as well as lies or embellishments by genuine veterans. Some individuals who do this also wear privately obtained uniforms or medals, which were never officially issued to them. Lying about military service or wearing a uniform or medals that were not earned is criminalized in some circumstances, especially if done with the goal of obtaining money or any other kind of tangible benefit, though laws vary by country. Reasons for posing as a member of the military or exaggerating one's service record vary, but the intent is almost always about gaining the respect and admiration of others. Philosophy professor Verna V. Gehring describes such people as virtue imposters, and that they don't necessarily adopt the identity of another person, but instead adopt a false history for themselves to impersonate virtues and characteristics. Many are only motivated by social recognition, attempting to exploit their reverence and respect for veterans in their country. These individuals often become absorbed in a fantasy of being a veteran that they attempt to live out in real life, sometimes even inserting themselves into public events or ceremonies, or volunteering for interviews with journalists about their alleged experiences. Others are motivated by more direct gains, such as impressing employers, casting directors, audiences, investors, voters in political campaigns, or romantic interests. Obviously, Latourette falls into into the latter category. He used this false story to help build his career and is now facing the public backlash for his actions. In the United States, the Stolen Valor Act of 2013 makes it a federal offense to falsely claim to have received any of several major military awards with the intention of obtaining money, property, or other tangible benefits. There are additional laws criminalizing the altering or forging of discharge documents and attempting to obtain veterans' benefits from the government. It's unclear whether Latourette will face a legal action for his claims, but it's certain to damage his public image. When asked about his plans for the future, Latourette simply stated, "My journey for the future is to continue seeing my psychiatrist on a regular schedule and swallow, metaphorically and literally, my medications daily. After that, anything is possible." Hopefully, with the help of a psychiatrist, Latourette can overcome his difficult past and confront the lies he's promoted over the years.